What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about some Toronto Maple Leafs trade rumors that some people were just kind of brushing off from last night. Elliotte Friedman brought it up in the first intermission rather than in the second intermission with Saturday's headlines. But it was some names that not a lot of people know of, especially if you're not a diehard, Leafs fan or follow the AHL Toronto Marlies. But it was still significant in my eyes because I don't believe that it's going to lead to a smaller move. I believe it could lead to a more significant move. So the names that were out there were Jeremy Bracco, Dmytro Timashov, and Ben Harpur. Now, Bracco is the most significant one there, although Timashov is also an interesting piece. Harpur is just kind of like a depth defenseman who, to be honest with you, it might just be to an AHL team that might be looking for a big guy. He's 6'6". We might as well just start with Ben Harpur, 24 years old, 6'6". He's not very good defensively. He's just a big body that likes to fight, I guess, sometimes. I honestly forgot that he played for my local OHL team, the Guelph Storm, for like 4 years. I recognized the last name, but I wasn't sure if it was him, because there's been a couple guys who have come through Guelph that have been bigger defensemen that I just kind of forgot about because they didn't exactly pan out to be anything. But Harpur at least made it to the NHL. He just hasn't been able to really stick on to an NHL team. Didn't work out in Ottawa. It's not working out with the Leafs, so he's probably going to get moved. Then over to Timashov. Of course, he made the Leafs this year. It was a bit of a surprise to some people. He's 23 years old, born the same year as me, which is cool. So, Toronto Maple Leafs this year, 28 games. He's had 8 points. He's been all right. He's more of a depth piece, but he has a chance to maybe do something a little, have a little bit of a bigger role in a team that might not be as good. Because I do believe that he can put up some points. Last year for the Marlies, this season with the Marlies, he had 49 points in 72 games played. Or no, sorry, that was last year. What am I talking about? Last year, 49 points in 72 games, 34 and 67 the year before, and 24 and 63 before that. But he's the type of guy, what you see is what you get. He's quick. He'll get into the corners. He's not afraid to throw a couple hits if he has to, and he can put up some points. So I'm sure he would be a part of a lesser deal, maybe if they want to swap like a fringe defenseman prospect for a fringe NHL guy or a depth NHL guy for a depth defenseman. I don't know what they want to do there, but I honestly think the Leafs are going to hold on to Timashov. It's Jeremy Bracco that's the big name here. Now, the reason why I say that is because Bracco is like an elite power play guy. He's a really good passer, and he can score, but he's not very good defensively. But the thing is, he's a flashy prospect in the sense that a lot of teams who are looking for a power play specialist, a guy who can dish out the puck, he's a perfect match for them. He's 22. Like Elliotte Friedman said last night, there are some guys in the way of him, so he's not exactly going to get that chance to be a full-time NHLer, a full-time guy that can go in there and get a bunch of minutes and play meaningful hockey because there's just too many wingers that the Leafs value and are above him in their depth chart. But that's not a bad thing. That doesn't mean he's a bad player. Jeremy Bracco is the type of player that the Leafs already have an abundance of. Is guys that can pass, they can score, put up points, maybe not the best defensively. Lots of guys that can play on the power play. He's just not going to fit in. I honestly do believe that the Leafs are also going to consider moving Cody Ceci for better defensive help at the trade deadline, or at least before that. If you attach a guy like Jeremy Bracco to Cody Ceci, you could probably, first of all, you'll definitely be able to get rid of Ceci's contract. It's 1 year, and by the deadline, in real money, you're only paying about half of that. And then, you can acquire somebody else, or maybe this is part of a bigger package. Maybe a Timashov is involved in a package like that. There's a group of Leaf fans and I guess hockey fans that will either overvalue Leafs prospects or undervalue Leafs prospects because, there's always going to be people who, just hate teams and undervalue everything because they don't want them to be successful. But there's also people that overvalue them. I have been on the fence. I've been a little back and forth with Bracco. I do not believe he's some elite prospect. I don't believe he's an amazing prospect, but I think he is a good prospect, and he does have value. He can fetch you something that actually has value, that will be worth something for your team. the thing is I believe that he's better suited as part of a package to acquire something, because he is like I said, a power play specialist, a guy who can dish out the puck, and he can put up points. I mean, this year so far with the Marlies, he has 26 points in 31 games. Last year, he had 79 points in 75 games, which was a huge breakout for him. The year before that, 32 points in 50 games. But he can score. He doesn't take a ton of penalty minutes. Again, he's a bit of a defensive liability, but 57 assists last year, and he's already got 23 this year. He knows how to move the puck around. He's got a good skating ability. He knows how to, move in and out of defenders. He's pretty good at that. If you watch him, you would probably compare him to some of the players that the Leafs have up front right now. But because of the type of player he is, he won't get that chance in Toronto, but he will be better suited to do that somewhere else. So if you do package together a Bracco, a Timashov, with a Cody Ceci, and maybe a good pick, you could probably acquire somebody from a team that would be a defensive style defenseman plus a late pick. Nothing too crazy. I'm not talking some guy that's going to come in and, now the Leafs are going to win the Stanley Cup. But you have to look at the way that the Leafs are constructed. With the injuries that they have, once they're fully healthy, there's never going to be room for a guy like Jeremy Bracco in the next couple years. The Leafs have their top 6 pretty much locked in. They have a bunch of depth guys that they believe are higher placed than him. And I believe if you package him together with a Cody Ceci and a pick or something else, you can acquire somebody that can play either on the second or third pairing, probably better suited on the third pairing. Although if you can really go out there and put together a nice package to go after a defensive style defenseman, you might be able to get a guy that can play in the top 4, more likely to be a second pairing guy. Just like, it's kind of a comparable guy to like Savard off Columbus. I don't know if that, you might have to put something better together to acquire a guy like him, but somebody like him. I'm not saying it has to be him specifically, but a guy that can, hit, not afraid to get in the dirty areas, maybe drop the mitts, but a guy that just plays good defensively in front of your goaltender, and that's ultimately what the Leafs are looking for right now. So that's basically my take. I do believe that Bracco has value. Timashov has some value. Harper's just a guy that if an AHL team or maybe an NHL team that's struggling to have that big presence, a guy that will, go in there and drop the mitts, or at least be a veteran presence for a junior team, like an AHL team, not junior, sorry. That might be what they're looking for. So basically, don't overvalue a prospect, but don't undervalue him either. And I'm talking about Bracco. He can fetch them something, but I believe it'll be a part of a package. So if you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Join the squad. Let's get to 7,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys as always. Leave me your thoughts down below. Will there be a trade? Will it be a part of a package? I want to know your thoughts. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Peace.